My thesis advisor told me about this interview, telling me that it would be perfect for me. I visited the website and I immediately knew that I wanted to be part of this incredible organization. We're used to, as minorities, we're used to bumping into so many glass ceilings. And I just want other people to know that there are amazing opportunities out there, and there are people and organizations out there that support our efforts as minority language speakers.
My favorite part of the internship is, or my favorite memory was getting to meet the other interns and other like-minded people working on their languages.
It is like family. It's like we have our own community, and we all are doing this because we love it, not because we have to. And I think that's beautiful. You don't find that a lot in the real world.
I just so happened to discover the internship on Instagram. I followed 7,000 Languages because I was really interested in the work that the company was doing. And I saw, the call for interns, and I pretty much just went ahead and decided to go for it and applied. I'd never actually had an internship before. Um, and yeah, so it worked out for the best and was so much more than I could have ever imagined it to be.
While I was living on the Cherokee Reservation, I grew up in a completely immersion environment. So we read, we wrote, we spoke in Cherokee, but we never learned the language from a grammatical standpoint. When I joined 7,000, it was like I was learning the language for the first time. Of course, I understood how certain sentences were structured and how words were conjugated, but I never understood why. Language, in a sense, is a reflection of a people and how they process information. For example, one aspect that Cherokee has that many other European languages don't are shape classifier verbs. Essentially, you have to conjugate a verb depending on the shape of the object you're asking for or talking about. Similarly, compared to even English, there's no gender in Cherokee, and at some point you have to ask yourself why. So for me, learning all these types of grammatical forms from a linguistic point of view helped me understand and connect with my culture in a way that I could never have imagined.
Anyone will have the opportunity to learn the language from, well, the comfort of their home if they wanted to. And it will finally give people the opportunity that I had and they never did. Yeah, people can once again connect with their culture and like never before.
Siyo, tag wa tao on. Gato to don ton. Osta, agwadon ton. Agiosi, huh? Jit luska. Tla, osta, yagwadon ton.
Ostas Jadanta.
Tla, yagwan ton. Unola tana. Kagatli. Duli sti.
The Kickapoo people have our resources to learn our language have always been very scarce. There was next to nothing online available if a Kickapoo person wanted to learn their language. They had to find a speaker, or they had to track down an out-of-print dictionary. So I wanted to become a 7,000 language intern and create an online curriculum that a Kickapoo person will be able to have access to from anywhere. Wherever they can have access to their phone or computer, they can have access to their language. I wanted to create that opportunity for my people.
Iconemia, Mama Guerra, Messi Guerra, Mesque de quoi.
I think the biggest learning moment was that that this is not impossible. It's very possible to get my language online. I'm excited for when Kickapoo people start taking these lessons.
So I've done linguistic research on laws before, but approaching it from a teacher's point of view was very new for me. While creating this course, I wasn't analyzing it in a vacuum like I did in my previous research, like when I analyzed its morphology or syntax or whatever. Like this time, I was delving into its history, the culture of the people who speak it, the relationship my community has with it, and the relationship I have with it. So creating this course brought me closer to my heritage in a way I never imagined. My favorite memory was I was creating a unit on Las cuisine, and I asked my grandmother about some traditional Las foods. She walked me through them, and then on a whim, we cooked one together. It was a black cabbage soup, so we cooked it together.
Once this course is published, I hope that others will learn just how important it is for Indigenous people to have access to resources that allow us to learn our ancestral languages. I was really interested in doing pretty much anything and everything that has to do with, community-based learning, community-centered learning. And I became increasingly interested in language learning after having written my senior honors thesis at Amherst, which focuses a lot on the relationship between our ancestral languages and, remembrance and blood memory and things of that nature.
Narawewi Gichigami translates to Iroquois Sea. Mick play a key role in shaping and maintaining healthy ecosystems surrounding Nayano Nibimang Gichigami. Thus, all other beings largely depend on Mick, whether directly or indirectly.
It's not my fault that, Anishinaabe is not my first language or even a language that I am fluent in at this time. That is not my fault. It is a direct result of colonization and, continuing colonization. So it's not my fault, but it is my responsibility to bring that language home and to at least try to communicate in a way that my ancestors can understand.
There is this common misconception in Turkey, born out of years of language propaganda, that Laz is a dialect of Turkish rather than a separate language. So the ethnic and linguistic erasure is very real, unfortunately. I hope Laz language and culture to be celebrated for its uniqueness. Also, I hope for us to speak it more because the same propaganda that has brought about this misconception has also cultivated an immense language trauma. So I hope for us to heal as a community and that we are not afraid to teach it to our children and that we speak it more, we use it more.